What's going on YouTube? Dave back again, and guess what? It's another Tip Tuesday. So, what do we have for you today?
Today's all about style, baby.
Alright guys, so yeah, it's not so much about style, but today what we're going to be talking about is safety issues. Whether you're working on resin, whether you're working on fiberglass, whether you're working on painting, whether it be lacquers or even enamels and acrylic. So I see a lot of stories going around, whether Facebook, everything else. I saw one last year where a kid had a piece of cloth and then a plastic bag over it, and then he had tied it around his face, and then he was complaining that he was getting lightheaded and like trouble breathing. And yeah, dumbass, if you're going to do that and not listen to other people, you kind of get what you deserve. I'm sorry. I'm here to give you guys a hand, show you some affordable, cheap options and some of the best options that you can end up doing. As you know, and how we do it here, links will be down in the description for everything I talk about. So without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, so one of the first items that we're going to be talking about is just your plain basic cloth mask. These you can pick up at any medical supply, pretty much anywhere. I think you can even get these at like Harbor Freight. You can get these on Amazon. They're really cheap. It's like $6 or something like that for a whole box of them. It is just a mesh fabric. These are good if you're in a pinch, if you're sanding stuff, just to keep stuff out of your nose, out of your mouth, just for basic use. And how you end up using this is, so I got these in bulk because, well, buy stuff in bulk. Plus I work in the medical field. All right, so how you do these is, right up here on the top, there is a wire. And what you're going to do, just kind of place it on there over your ears and just kind of form fit it over your nose. And yes, you end up breathing your own breath. Yes, it is hot. It's not the most comfortable. But as you can see, it does end up working. It does keep out somewhat some of the germs that you may end up coming in contact, but it's going to keep out the particles if you're sanding, whether it be wood, fiberglass, resin, anything like that. And it's really going to end up helping you out. It is a lot better than using nothing. Now, the next ones we're taking a look at, these are 3M home dust masks. They say to use these for like dust, things like that, not for professional occupational uses, you know, regulated by OSHA, but these are actually a step up from the other ones. The fibers are a lot closer together and it's going to block out a lot more. If you're spraying things like heavy bodied acrylics, enamels, or even lacquers, these are going to keep the particles from getting into your nose and mouth, but it's not going to keep the fumes from getting in there. So how these end up going on is you just place it over your mouth and nose. Now one strap should, if done correctly, you can do both right behind your ear, but they recommend one behind the neck like this to hold it, and the other one over, and then you put your hat over it so you still keep looking good. This the same way while it's on, just push it to your bridge. Now this one, it is denser. These come in different sizes. This one's like a small, something like that. I actually, both this and the next one that I'm going to be showing you guys, my wife uses more for cleaning around the house with fumes and stuff because they really bother her. But this one actually breathes better, but it pulls out more particulates that will be in your air. And as you can see, it doesn't suck up against your face when you're breathing, and that's another thing, especially if you have claustrophobic issues. So yeah, this one, number 2 on the list. Now the third one that we're going to be taking a look at looks like an old war gas mask, and it's kind of similar, but not quite. So this is actually a painter's mask. I have had this for several years, and this is the main one that my wife ends up using when she's using things like bleach, stuff like that really bothers her. These actually have carbon filters in each side, so they just slap in. You want to make sure and follow the directions on here. There's charcoal that's in here. It just screws on. Every once in a while, just check this, make sure that it's seated well. What this is for, if anyone's gone snorkeling, that little valve that's in there, when you exhale, your air actually comes out of it. And as you can see, it's got makeup on it. I don't care. But the way this ends up working, when you breathe in, the air comes in through these little valves, and then when you exhale, it pushes on that and exhales through here. So just like with the last one,
you're going to place it on. One over the head, which there's actually a split. One behind the neck. Put back on your hat. Make sure it's nice and seated. And then you sound like Darth Vader. Luke, I am your father. So the way that this ends up working is when you inhale, air comes in here. And when you exhale, air comes out of here. This one is not as claustrophobic as the others. It doesn't seem to be as hot. It fits a lot better. The only downside is if you have facial hair like I do, it's going to let some air seep in through here. So just make sure that you get a good seal on there. But if you're looking for, especially if you're spraying lacquers, you will get zero smell coming through here and zero fumes. This is the way to go.
Last up on the list, we have this one. It's a GVS Eclipse half mask. So it's very similar to the last one we have. It's just a little more stylish. It has a little bit different filter system on it. So let's get this out. High efficiency synthetic particulate air filter. I've been using one of these for a couple of years now, and it works really well. It actually fits to my face really well. So let me pop out this one and show you guys. So inside you do end up finding this little plastic baggie. It is a Ziploc style so that you can store this in and keep it clean in your garage or your workshop or wherever you are going to be storing your mask. Taking a look at the mask itself, you can see it's shaped a little bit differently than the other, and you're not going to have that weight hanging off the front that you do with the other. Same concept, air is going to come in here, out through here. You have a little turn key that's on the side that you'll turn to unlock this. You can get replacement filters. I actually have a friend that has one of these that he has actually washed his filter out several times, but it just pulls out like that. But he's washed his filter a couple of times. The mask itself is probably maybe almost, I think it was about $20. And then replacement filters are like $14 for 2 more. But honestly, yeah, unless you're painting a car, there's not going to be, one of these will last you for a very long time. But like I said, as you can see, it's shaped a little bit differently. It's longer this way, made more for fitting a face. And as I said before, air comes in through these little valves right here, if you can see that, and then out through right here. So same as the others.
One behind the head, one over the head, and there is this little rubber thing that I think it's supposed to help stick to your thing, but it just kind of pulls on your hair. Put my hat back on. So you're not going to be the most stylish. These straps are fully adjustable, and once you get this all set, this one, I really like it because it's the most comfortable. There's no heat on the inside, so you don't get that claustrophobic feeling. It's pulled away from your face, so it's not touching your nose. Nothing in your face ends up touching the inside of the mask, and it's just more comfortable in general. Now, this one, it's more dense. The filters are more dense, so you're going to have to inhale a little bit harder when you do inhale, versus the one that just has the carbon filters on there. So basically what those are is a cotton fiber, and then inside is charcoal, which filters out the smells. This is going to end up filtering out pretty much everything. You might get a little smell, but I really doubt it. This is going to be your go-to for an all-around spray thing. So yeah, this one is my #1 pick out of everything.
Like I said, these range anywhere from a couple dollars each all the way up to about $20. There will be links down in the description. I definitely recommend picking up some form, one way or another, if you're working on resin and you're spraying, even if you're outside spraying rattle cans, you know, you can always get that blown back in your face, and it's a lot better to spend the extra money and have some protection than take a chance on getting a lung infection or anything else with that coming back in your face. I hope you guys found this informative in any way. If it helped anybody, give it a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. I'm doing my best here for Tip Tuesdays of coming up with new stuff. I may not wait until Tuesday to be talking about primers, and then we're just going to be moving on. And as you see, the progression, how to modify air booths, how to transfer paints from one system to another for easier storage, things like that. So definitely stay tuned. I can't wait to show you guys every little bit that I can. I'm really enjoying it. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me and putting up with me. If you like this video and you like what I do, click that like button. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing. You can click right over here, I believe, somewhere. I always get flipped around. As usual, YouTube, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out, YouTube.